Greetings. My name is Dr. Monica Moody Moore, and welcome to this week's episode of Pivot on Purpose. Today's focus is on the art of storytelling. So stop yakking and start storytelling. There really is an arc to the art of storytelling. What that suggests is that your speech should have movement, it should have a fluidity to it. While I may seem a bit mechanical at this moment, it's to make sure that my words transmit. But as you're engaging, I want you to put your whole heart and soul into your presentation, to show up with an intentionality to connect deeply with those that you're relating. So, the art of storytelling suggests that there is a powerful dynamic beginning. There's something that draws you in. And notice power can also be quiet, it need not be loud and dominant. It can actually be mysterious, it can be quiet and subtle. So, there's multiple ways to begin, but begin with the intent to capture. Begin with a smile in your voice, with a steadiness in your tone, and with the desire to immediately and quickly relate to your audience. So, as you think about storytelling as a leader, keep this formula in mind to draw one in with compelling language from the onset. Imagine if I began with this session with I begin with our finest hour is in front of us. I believe that firmly. And because I believe, there are four things I hope we can achieve. And with your help and with your wit, I believe we can go about this work together. So immediately I'm setting the stage with the movement, with the timeline of moving together, with the intent to have us actually collaborate, and with the belief that I believe our finest hour is still in front of us. I'm trying to illustrate as I give these remarks a way that you can quickly and decisively bring together your audience in a way that hangs on your words and leaves them wanting to hear what you say next. Well, you can do that by not being as predictable as the standard cadence. You can speed up at times or choose to slow down a bit to put a bit more inflection in your voice. But if nothing else you take away from this segment, I hope you take away one, a desire to want to speak in more compelling ways that draws your audience to you, not with force, but with intrigue, with excitement, with the desire to hear more of your sentiments. You can do that with the compelling start, but then after you start, you have to take the listener somewhere. Give them specifics on where you want them to focus. If I say next, the three items I want you to concentrate on include one, two, three. I brought to their attention three items. While it may be distracting to use my hands in this setting and to illustrate, just know it's possible for you as a leader in whatever way you choose to express yourself. But once you begin with a powerful, potent introduction, I want you to take the listener through your journey with specificity, clarity in your voice, in your pronunciation, and specifics about what you think they can follow along with. Notice I said three things. It's not 1,000. How many items can we hold in our small cart at one time? So help the listener follow you with not overriding the system with too much information at once. As you bring them forward with the three items, for example, you can remind them where you are in that journey. One, dot, dot, dot. Two, ABC. And finally, three, XYZ. You see how I called out each of those. But as you're giving your remarks, if you choose not to be that mechanical, you can simply say the three items I want you to pay attention to include the following, and you give them the three, and then you unpack them in some type of detail. You don't have to follow along with each number count, but I just wanted to give you an example in this role play of how to do that if you choose. What I hope most is that you give your listener a way to follow you as you speak. The thing to keep in mind with just your voice is that you'll need context clues for people to follow along. They'll listen to where you put your punctuation, the exclamation marks, the periods. So at the end of your sentence, I hope you will be mindful to not sound unsure of yourself at the end of the statement. It may look something like this. If I choose to begin a speech with a powerful statement, I might begin something like, I believe our finest hour is in front of us. There are three things that I think we need to do that most effectively. I hope you'll partner with me and collaboratively with your team as you unpack all of the possibilities to get there together. So while I'm trying to do this as a role play, I want to show and mirror for you how to start with a powerful statement that included pregnant pauses, that gave a belief system at the onset. I believe our finest hour is in front of them. So I wanted to give my listeners some hope and inspiration to look forward to. And then I'm going to give them 3 items to hone in on, but I'm also inviting the team to further collaborate and conjure up more suggestion. So again, I'm using this video to try to both mirror and model while I give suggestion about how you can start to front load and stack your speeches more potently for the type of delivery you want. As I'm doing this, it's top of mind. I'm not using notes. So there may be moments where you may either lose your train of thought or lose your way. You need not panic. Simply inject a pause, regain your thought, tell the listener that let's journey in this direction, why don't we? You see how I was able to break where I was going, give a signal that I wanted someone to follow me, and then give the listener another suggestion. So in a second, I'm going to put all this together. It's just like learning a new dance move, and the choreographer gives you the steps in incrementally. So with these incremental steps of the powerful start, the using pregnant pauses, to keeping a smile in your voice, to using gestures very strategically, to not overload the system with too much information at once. And once you give then your listener the details of where you most want them to go, and you signal pivots as you need to make them, let's journey to this thought if we can. You see how even as I was saying that and had a break in my thought, I was able to still keep the focus and bring you along without too much disruption, or so I believe. So as you're listening to this video, I hope you'll think of a couple of things for yourself. Think of how you reflect in your speeches, not just the words you say, but the entire experience that is had from listening to you. Is it something that is pleasant, compelling, meaningful? People want to know what comes next. You're putting some type of thought in your mind and in your direction that gives them a way to follow your speech. So as you're doing this work, I suggest you also record yourself. It's helpful to see yourself on video, see how you translate and transmit, have an understanding of how your voice comes across. I admit in this setting, I'm not using at this moment the best audio. I'm actually in transit. So the audio may be more hollow than I might want as my standard audio. But again, I encourage you to do this work for yourself and create an arc in the art of speaking that helps your listener have a potent and impactful introduction. You slow down the intro in a way that gives them a chance to catch up to you. You give them the meat and potatoes in the beginning and gesture as necessary. Don't overload that system, but give them tangibles underneath each suggestion. Make sure you give a summary that is even more potent than your beginning, because if nothing else, people will remember the end. Even if they forget the beginning, they'll remember how they last experienced you. So think about your ending. So as I think about my ending, I say this to you. The time you've spent with me is a treasure to me, and I hope of value to you. Here's where I want to inspire you most: to lean into yourself as being a great public speaker, as someone who can command the room on purpose and with purpose, someone that can use your voice to bring people along to a better space than you found them, and and use speech in a way that can actually create a storyboard so that at the end of the day, someone remembers what you said and how you said it and how it made them feel. Thanks for watching this week's Pivot on Purpose. Your homework assignment is to practice a speech that you do impromptu, record it on any type of video device you choose. It doesn't have to be long, just a couple of minutes to see how you transmit. If you can do this naturally, just impromptu, you can certainly do it under more scripted ways. But I want to get you started just speaking from the top of your mind in a way that allows your mind to follow along with your own inner script and then allows the listener to go there with you. The art of public speaking is an art. Storytelling has an arc to it, starts with a dynamic way, goes through the details. Sometimes there's some drama and storytelling nestled further in there, and then concludes with a powerful punch. Practice it and let me know how it goes. And thanks for joining me this week on Pivot on Purpose.